Comeback album of the year, we got AZ Do or Die 2. What
Mhm.
say you guys in the chat? Because the chat's blowing up. Oh, it's a good one too. Joe
Yeah,
Bros
yeah.
says Lloyd Banks.
I got Lloyd Banks on our slept on list. I mean, it's a solid argument, but Lloyd's album, The Course of the Inevitable, it's just not measuring up to Do or Die 2. It just don't slap as hard. It's not as he's not as lyrically precise as Az is. The guest appearances are great. Az's guest appearances are slightly better. Az's just in pocket. He's just in a good place. A lot of what makes Do or Die 2 sound so good, Mike, and this is just one of those things, like the beats on the album, they fit AZ perfectly. He did a great job about selecting
He
beats
did.
that worked for him. It was a masterful job of that. It's one of those nuances of being in the game that you see where he's seasoned. And it's like he picked beats that maybe didn't sound hot at first, but he made it hot because it's perfect for him and it's AZ. So he's nice enough to pull it off. Like the track Different, Mike, most rappers aren't going to rap on that beat, but if you listen to the melody of it, it's like, oh, that's perfect for A's silky delivery, though. You know? And he knew it, and so when he heard the track, he like, nah, I can freak that and make that something, and he did. And the album is full of gems like that, where it's like, oh, he took that and freaked that. Like a lot of dudes couldn't have took that and freaked that.
I love the fact that he the features that he actually had on there and how well those things fit too. I
Yeah,
love
because
I love Conway and Wayne being on the record
it wasn't,
together.
and it wasn't typical features. That's what I liked
Yeah.
about it. It's like when I saw it, it was like he's doing a track with Dave East, he's doing a track with Conway and Wayne. It was like, but it came off extremely well. Mike, you and I love Blow That Shit with Dave East. That's one of our best songs on there.
I like yeah. Dave East came through.
He did come through, Mike. That's one of his better performances in the last couple of years. You
What
know
do
what I
you think
mean?
about Dave East?
That the project he released.
What you know? What he did release a project.
Yeah, the
I mean,
Harry
just
Brought-
in general, just in general. What do you think about Dave East? Because I feel like he's one of those artists, one of those New York MCs in this era that's kind of stuck in the middle. Like he's younger, but he seems to be working more so with the older generation of New Yorkers, and when you do that, you don't really get the love from certain, you know what I'm saying, the
I
populace
think
of the young demo.
because I think that's what he's rooted in.
Right.
As an MC, I'll tell you he's above average, especially for his generation. And I like Davies. I think the biggest thing is that he hasn't really separated himself charisma and personality wise. You know,
Mm-hmm.
like he could be Method Man in a lot of ways that don't have anything to do with rap if his charisma and maybe personality came out more, if you feel what I'm saying.
No, no, I get you, and I agree with that. I think
And
that
some different avenues could open up because of that. So I think him being like really, how about this? Him being so rooted in it could be hurting some of his brand in terms of his ability to expand because he's somebody that you know that women are going to be attracted to. That somebody may want to put on a billboard about something not related to rap, possibly. You feel me?
Miss Mo said Dave said he came out in the wrong generation. I agree with that, and
No, that's I didn't know he said that. Shout out to Miss Mo. Miss Mo is one of our loyal followers. And also, too, Mike, she's one of the people that called us out about not getting a heads up. She's like, yeah, I wanted a heads up too.
you know, I'm gonna tell a quick story about back in the day when I used to be in a rap group. Blah blah blah. Me and my partner in rhyme, like we were a duo, and we were like in the early 2000s, and everything in Atlanta was just crunk, and we were rapping like it was the 90s, and it didn't work for us, and we wouldn't change. It probably that was mostly me being super stubborn, and I mean, looking back on it now, if I could do it all over again, I would have told us to go to North Carolina at the time or go to New York and do what we were doing. But we were sitting here spinning wheels in Atlanta trying to change the minds of the market, and it just didn't work. So when she said that about Davey saying that he's in the wrong generation, I feel that. It happens that way sometimes. And then like a couple years later, those things come back around and you're like, damn, if that would have, you know what I'm saying? But it happens like that. But I think Dave is